Well, researchers over in Finland found this 4,400-year-old staff, which they believe was used by a shaman in that time period for magical or mystical purposes. Now, the thing is approximately 21 inches long, made from wood, and it's about an inch thick. Well, I got to thinking that maybe, since we can't just jump on over to Finland and dig one of these up ourselves, maybe we could use our scroll saw to make one. So I put together this little pattern. Now this is going to be a compound cut, and we're going to use a 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch blank, approximately 19 inches long. I made it that long because that would be about the best we could do under our scroll saw without having to use a special kind of blade to maneuver around on this thing. I have a 20-inch Excalibur, and that would be cutting a little close. I figured the 19-inch ought to do it. We're going to find out if it does anyways. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this pattern and we're going to attach it to a blank cut from a piece of 2x4, and we'll see if we can make one of these interesting looking staffs from Finland, 4,400 years old. Okay, I've cut the pattern out. By the way, if you want this pattern, you can click on the link down below and get this from my Etsy store. It's about 18 inches long, 19 inches long, as I said, and it's in two pieces, so you'll have to tape the two pieces together in order to make the full pattern. And I'm using a piece of 2x4 that I cut out into a blank, 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch. And I notice here as I'm looking at it, it's got a couple of knots in the middle, which might cause us some problems. But we're just experimenting here, so we'll see how this comes out. If you want, you could do it from a lot better wood than this. But I want to try to make this look as realistic as possible. It was rather ratty looking in the actual photograph, as you saw at the beginning. So if you want to try this, you might want to try this wood and then see what you come up with. We're going to take this and tape it to the blank, flip it over one side, of course, and we'll have two sections to cut out. There we go. I could have put some tape on this, painter's tape, but I think we'll be okay. It's a relatively soft wood, and we don't really have to worry about the exterior. This little guy's got to pop out from the middle, if it works at all. Okay, we'll take this to the drill press and drill an entry hole on either side and get cutting. Okay, I've got the entry hole drill out, and I'm using a number 9 blade on here, a reverse tooth. Don't know that it makes too much difference what kind of blade you use, but I'm going to try it with this one and see what happens. Pop that up, slide this through, and it's going to be just a quick cut, hopefully. That'll go smoothly, and we'll see what happens. If the blade breaks, well, we'll have to stop and fix it naturally. There we go. Okay, as you can see, this header here keeps popping up. Might have to tie that down. Maybe we could use a, I think we'll take a piece of wire here, tie this down temporarily. My saw is getting old, and sometimes this happens. I found this to be a remedy. Let's see if it'll hold. Off we go. Cutting on the fly. Okay, got this done. Loosen the blade up here. And now, came out pretty good. We're going to do the other side, but first, we're going to want to tape this down with some tape, just so it holds it in place and doesn't move around when we do the next cut. So I'm going to go do that at the bench. Okay, I got her all taped up now, and I've got my blade back in there, my little Rube Goldberg hookup here, and let's see if we can cut out the second side with any success. Okay, we finished it off. I'll dismantle this now and take out the block, and we're going to take it over to the bench here and see if we got one of these little guys inside here or not. Okay, we're over here, a little table. Let's see if this comes out nicely. Ooh, certainly does. Just fell right out of there. And there he is. We can throw these waste pieces away. And we've got a nice little snake here. Snake staff, as it turns out to be. But it's going to need some work. First thing I want to do is take it over to the bench sander. And let's give it some shape. I'm going to round over these edges. Put some nicks in it, make it look more roundish, so to speak. Okay, so let's go over there. Okay, we're over here at the bench sander. And what we're going to do is just gently run this over the sander as we start it up, and see if we can give it a little bit of roundness and some roughness at the same time. Because this thing is supposed to be 4,400 years old. So let's give it a try. Okay, we rounded this over quite a bit. Has a little bit of a shape to it now, a nice little body. I'm going to take it over to my mop sander and smooth it all out. Still keeping in mind we want to get some roughness to it too. Okay, we're over here at the mop sander now. Let's give him a nice smoothing out here. Okay, got a nice feel to it. Looks a little bit like a snake. Certainly makes a nice little staff. Sort of a wand for the shaman. Now, the original one, of course, is a nice dark colored brown. I don't know if that was because of aging the peat mosses that it sat in for 4,000 years. But we're going to try to give this a little brown color too by using a modern version of that called the stain. So I'm going to go over and stain this and see what it's going to look like. Okay, we have a dark walnut stain here. Seems like it's going to be dark enough with this. We're going to take some of this and rub it over our shaman snake and hope it comes out pretty good looking. I'm going to use a paper towel, just dip it in there and rub it down. There we go. No idea what we're going to come out with, but we'll see. Looks pretty good so far. I'll really mush this up. A lot of stain on it. Got to look like it's been in the ground for 4,000 years. So, doesn't have to be really too pretty, I guess. Alright, this is looking pretty good, I think. Yep. I'd say this is going to be a good example of a shaman staff. You perform any kind of magic with it, I guess. Okay, so there it is, nicely stained up. I'm going to do let it dry now, and then rub it down, and you can take a look at it in the end when we're finished. A bit more on here so we can get it to darken up some more. I might give it another coat too. I want to make this thing as dark as possible. Okay, I'll be back when this is done.